Hello, greetings, what's up, and welcome. The sun is shining and the magpie is casting. Coming to you guys today with a live 1 versus 1 battle featuring spawning in the south. It's going to be the United Kingdom forces of Hama, brackets wwU, close brackets. And spawning in the north, it's going to be the Wehrmacht forces of Han, in square brackets, PaoJ. Both of these players are returning players to the channel, so welcome back to you both. Hoping for a good, clean fight this game. Hoping for a nice, balanced, and interesting brawl. The map today is going to be Falmionville Approach. So this map's come up quite a few times on the channel by now. I'm sure you are all probably quite familiar with it. It's a good sort of mixed bag of sort of medium density cover. You've got a few buildings in decent positions, so look to see the players try to take advantage of those with their Vickers and MG42 machine gun teams respectively. And seems like we've got a very aggressive squad of Tommies here, coming right up into the Axis half of the map. This is pretty rapid stuff. Looks like they're going to try and chase off these Pioneers, and they actually kind of are. So this point here is going to go uncaptured, and if I correct the tack, you can see that this point here, you need this point to be captured, really, to receive any benefit from any of these points down here. So that is actually somewhat frustrating for the Axis player. Hama also savvy enough to put down 2 half-constructed sandbag walls here, which is really annoying. So that's going to mess with the pathing for the Axis player, PaoJ, and also mean that he's going to have to vault over this wall manually. Stuff like that. So Hama, clearly the gamer's kind of gamer, clearly playing for the win here, using every single edge he has at his in his toolkit. And you know, fair enough. You know, we play on the ladder, we play to win, we play the game as it is, and we want the wins. So that is absolutely fair enough. 2 squads of Grenadiers, the build order for the Axis player. Han seems like he's chosen his commander straight away. It's somewhat prematurely, seeing as how this commander doesn't actually give you anything of benefit until the 3 command point limit. But he's chosen Lightning War Doctrine. So this is the second time I've really seen this commander used on the channel. The first time was an absolute masterclass by, I'm afraid I can't actually remember the name of the player, but damn, he used that commander incredibly well and did in fact sell me on it. I'm very convinced about this commander. However, that was up against Soviets, I believe, anyway. Actually, wait, was that up against British or Soviets? You know, I can't remember. Either way, no, it was against British. It was, yeah. So this commander is quite pokey, and what makes it so pokey is your availability here to where is it? Relief infantry. Now, using this whilst making pushes at the British forces basically offsets the fact that you're trading inefficiently, or it just basically gives you a load of squads of Ostroboden to back up your assault. And when you play as Wehrmacht, you tend to pull ahead of British forces in the early game, and you tend to arrive in the mid game in quite a strong position. And that's when the Brits start clawing it back with their superior units and abilities. But if you have this ability to create for 90 munitions, basically a load of extra free squads, basically means that you can ride your good start that you get with the Wehrmacht through the middle game and kind of into the late game, and basically deliver like a sledgehammer blow, sort of in the middle of the mid game or towards the end of the mid game, where you basically are just coming at them with so many units, the British players just get overwhelmed, and you only have to lose a couple of units for the Brits, and things can start falling apart quickly. Of course, the British squad's priced at a premium because they are very, very good. Anyway, we've got a marksman out. You can hear the crack of that rifle there. That's the German marksman. So he's chalked up 1 headshot already to his name. Looks like he's just going to take another shot at these Tommies here. Wow, going to blast another one down. So ever the popular choice when playing against the British forces, the Wehrmacht sniper. Really good at taxing their low model count, high manpower cost squads. So yeah, doing really well. These Grenadiers just a little bit idle here. Seems like we've got a scuffle developing. Why can I hear shooting? Oh well, anyway, Zimajah has manoeuvred himself into the western portion of the map. He's going to take shots at these Tommies and force them back. Right now, the scoreline, pretty heavy advantage. I mean, we're only just passing the 4-minute mark, and also already 64 tickets ahead are the Axis forces. Now, here's a fight between Tommies and Grenadiers. They're both going to be in heavy cover, and it seems like that is one that the Tommies are going to win thanks to their bonus rate of fire, especially now that they're 4 against 2. The damage output from the Grenadier squad, slash. Going to get that Grenadier out of there, but that is risky late. If those Tommies decided to keep firing, there could have been the chance of a squad wipe there. I'm not saying it's high risk, but it is definitely a thing that could have happened. MG42 team going to come forward. The build order from Hama, I must just comment as I look at his base. So he does have his platoon command post. But the build order for Hama, very unusual. He's gone for 4 squads, so that's 3 that he's built of Tommies. plus the one that you start with. So most people would mix in a Vickers or, you know, spice things up with another unit or two. That is an odd build. Seems like he's also gone for the Pyrotechnics package, and he's gone for the 5-man squad upgrade. So a very interesting build from Hama. Highly atypical, not what I see all the time at all. So definitely focusing on Tommies and making them as good as possible with that 5-man squad upgrade. So yeah, let's look to see how he leverages these abilities that he's chosen to invest in. Let's just check the teching for the Axis player. So it seems like we've got Escalate to Battle Phase 1 has completed. No Leichter Mechanized Company just yet, but there is a squad of Pioneers just falling back right now. So we could look to see that building thrown down in the near future. There it is, yeah. So that's going to happen. We've also got the bunker, which has been constructed in the Wehrmacht base. That's just now been upgraded with medics. So they're going to be able to heal units that fall back for the Axis player. So everything coming together nicely for PaoJ right now. Grenadiers sneaking up to the north, looking to decap that munitions point, whilst Grenadiers sneak into the south, going to decap this munitions point. So looking after the resource points is PaoJ. Let me just crack the tack here and find out. So the other fuel point is here, which is in British hands. So just making sure that that's the case, because right now the resource situation is about to start strongly favouring the Axis once he ties up these two munitions points. Sniper in mid, keeping tabs on some Tommies, just knocking them down one by one. And you kind of get the feeling this is a fairly typical UK versus Wehrmacht matchup so far. The Wehrmacht units pretty much just a lot punchier at this stage in the game, and the points being taken around the map and the scoreline kind of reflecting that. We do have a Scottish Assault Squad sniper. Here he is, the SAS sniper, moving on out. He's looks like he's decided to commit to the north of the map, which is also kind of where the Major is. Now, the SAS sniper hasn't revealed himself, but he's also not activated Hold Fire. Oh, there we go. Hold Fire is now on. So, obviously Hold Fire is crucial because you don't want your SAS sniper just capping rounds into everybody he sees, because he takes quite a long time to aim and fire, and the German marksman can very easily counter-snipe him with his far more rapid shooting ability. So, yeah, typically what you'll see is the German Major just picking off Tommies, picking off infantry squads, and then the SAS sniper will be used as a kind of counter-snipe on him. Now, of course, it is totally risky, and savvy German players will usually be able to win that one. But somehow, most Wehrmacht players still don't see it coming, and the first shot from that SAS sniper almost always gets the Major. So, anyway, well, there we go. The first shot has been fired from the SAS sniper, so he's now revealed. So that will put PaoJ on his guard. And scuffle in the north here. There hasn't really been any major fights, just very preliminary, non-committed stuff from both players. Nobody really calling in a lot of squads, everybody keeping a good fan of units around the map, so we haven't had any pitched battles yet, which is unusual because we're coming up to the 8-minute mark. Usually by now somebody's decided to force an issue or push something too fast somewhere, and we have a fight involving, you know, 2-3 squads from each team. However, this time, if I crack the tack, you can see the dispersal of units for both players is pretty good. Both maintaining presence across the map instead of trying to take a big battle anywhere. The Leichter Mechanized Company is now completed for PaoJ, so he now has access to Panzer Grenadiers, Pack Guns, the 251 half-track, and the 222 Scout Car. So we'll see if he opts to make use of any of those abilities. You've got to think he probably is, because he's gone to the trouble of building the building, rather than just skipping it. So keep an eye on the top right to see what the Axis player decides to build from that one. Let's just take a look at the teching for the British player. So he actually has the 115, I believe it is, fuel to purchase his... oh, hang on a second. To purchase his... What's going on with this interface? There we go, to purchase his company command post, there we go. So he doesn't have the manpower just now, but he could look to get that company command post sooner rather than later, and I think it would be a smart investment. Reason for this is not only is it just something he's going to want to get anyway, but if you look at the top of the map, he's actually got a Tommy squad with the Pyrotechnics package. And of course, by buying your company command post, you get a second 25-pounder in the British base, ready to fire shells when you designate it with the Pyrotechnics flare. So yeah, that would be a pretty smart thing to get. Here comes some Fallschirmjägers, sorry, not Fallschirmjägers, here comes some Panzer Grenadiers. They're going to get right up close to these Tommies, but the Tommies are actually just totally taking that fight. They've got a soft cover bonus, and uh-oh, this could be a squad wipe here. Nope, looks like PaoJ is paying attention. Could still be a squad wipe. Nope, looks like he's going to get out of there. And the fight here, you've got to think with the Tommies, those Grenadiers are going to be forced back. We've got another fight, meanwhile, going on in mid here. Some kind of 25-pounder fire has been called in by the Pyrotechnics package. Those shells are landing round about here. Seems like we've got the epic glitch where the explosions are not actually generating. Here, watch this shell come in. Okay, as I say it, that explosion did generate. maybe because it hit the building. Anyway, there's a slight glitch with those 25-pounders. I've seen it from time to time. Sometimes, there we go, see, no explosion. Sometimes the explosion just doesn't actually generate. No idea why, what causes that. It seems intermittent. Anyway, SAS Sniper is going to be forced back by a very aggressive unit of Grenadiers, who are actually capturing, if I highlight the tactical map, who are actually capturing a cut-off point here. So by capturing this, they're going to disconnect the fuel point critically for the British forces. And the income right now, it's 29 fuel and 47 munition for the Axis forces over just the 10 fuel and 16 munitions for Hama of the UK forces. So definitely at a deficit right now, the UK forces. They're also down to 312 tickets, under 500, but we're just beginning to enter the stage of the game where the British forces can begin to claw their way back in. Just checking on the Major here. It's taking shots at some Tommies, and these Tommies going to take back that cut-off point, but a lot of fuel has been cost from the British forces by losing that point. Panzer Grenadiers in this location taking shots at the Tommies. They're going to force that squad back and move on to capture the victory point. So that's going to put the Brits back under the clock. But as I was saying, we're just entering that time in the game now where, that 55 cal sniper rifle, where the British forces are able to kind of claw back from the deficit which they almost always find themselves under. Some of the more stronger British units are now able to make their presence felt. We've got a 6-pounder already on the field, and that's a very strong anti-tank gun. Here it is, although it is actually in a terrible position right now. And the Vickers K from the base defense is going to suppress these infantry, and probably they're going to be forced to fall back. Doesn't really take prisoners, this Vickers K. Pardon me, in the base. And it'll probably pin them. Yeah, there we go. So that's going to force a fallback. So yeah, we're also at the point where, at the current fuel income rate, in about two minutes, we could have... oh no, the British player just lost a squad. Sorry, I was not paying attention. He's lost one of his Tommy squads there, somewhere on the map. I was not able to see where that happened. But yeah, we're approaching the point in the game now where the British player could look to get a Centaur, a Cromwell, his choice of basically very potent armour units, as well as that second 25-pounder being online in the base. And because he's already gone for the 5-man squad upgrade, I would not hate going for the weapon racks upgrade at a reasonably early timing. If he had Piats on his Royal Engineers and Bren guns on his Tommies, this force would actually be a lot more pokey. Let's see what happens with that. PaoJ is stocking quite a lot of fuel right now. He's just gone to escalate to Battle Phase 2, but when he's sitting on 170 fuel, as he is, I wouldn't actually hate just skipping the support armour company and going straight up to the Schwerer Panzer building, the heavy Panzer HQ. Just because, yeah, he's floating such a lot of fuel, he could get a reasonably early Panther, and that will stand up a lot better to a Cromwell or a Centaur. Believe it or not, a Panzer IV can actually kind of lose to a Centaur. It does happen. Centaurs are pretty pokey. So anyway, these Tommies gonna be forced to fall back. No medical pack upgrade on those, and I wonder if that's a mistake from Hama, who has enough munitions for it. I always like to buy the medical kit upgrade for all of my Tommy squads. Rifle grenade for all my Tommy squads that don't have the pyrotechnics package. Wow, that rifle grenade, a good dodge there from Hama, demonstrating his ability to read the rifle grenade animations starting up. Another rifle grenade, he's not on his toes this time, but it's a miss. A cunning double bluff from PaoJ, aiming that rifle grenade behind. There's an LMG-42 on the ground here. That is quite the prize. Everyone's making a dash for it, but it's going to go to the Grenadiers. This is now a double LMG-42 squad. They are going to become Veteran C3 in no time if they're allowed to shoot for very long whatsoever. So anyway, Hama doing good right now, keeping on top of everything that matters, and he's coming up to that 6 command point. In fact, you know what? He's way past the 6 command point limit where he can use this relief infantry ability. And I don't know. I'm not sure if PaoJ is the same player who I cast before who used this doctrine, but I'm going to go check the channel, going to flick back through the archive on my YouTube channel as soon as this game is done and check it out, because this is severe overtones of whoever it was I cast before who was using this commander, and he was one of the most slick Wehrmacht commanders I have ever seen. The game almost looked one-sided, and I have to say, it's kind of how this game feels like it's going. Anyway, here comes the horsey glider for the British forces. Nearly gets destroyed on its way in, which is a shame, because of course this is the Vanguard Operations Regiment glider. This one's a forward fallback point, and is a very useful glider because it can also train units, so you don't want this one to be damaged at all. You can't repair it, and it's very fragile, so that could be destroyed by PaoJ and his Axis forces pretty easily. So that could be an issue. Sapper's taken fire from... where are they? Sapper's here. Apparently they're yelling about taking fire. Oh, they must have just been being shot at by these Grenadiers. I have to say, This game has seen hardly any actual combat and very few, if any, like, big engagements, so a very odd strategy. But under the clock, big time right now, the British forces, 192, under 500, all 3 victory points right now. Okay, well, two victory points right now under Axis control, so Hama needs to try and think about making a move somehow pretty soon. Here comes the armor for the Axis player. Love this skin. This is my favorite camo for a Panzer IV. Beautiful work. The MG42 pintle mount upgrade is coming along, and there is no anti-tank to be seen right now. The 6-pounder is going to scramble on over to that area of the map, but it's going to be a while, and you have to think PaoJ has been playing this well enough. I kind of get the feeling he's not going to be one of these players who's just going to randomly overcommit his armor for the death. I mean, he's seen the 6-pounder, he knows it exists. Looks like it's sneaking around. This line of sight blocker, this bush here, kind of playing quite a big role right now, protecting that Panzer IV. British infantry are dug in trenches, and they can use this building. Yep, they do. And that's going to provide quite a lot of Lee Enfield fire, as they do get the heavy cover bonus. We've got another skirmish just down on the south of the map. Some Tommies facing off against Pioneers, but I'm going to cover the main battle with the Panzer IV. The 6-pounder could have decided to stop here and just cover the battle with an arc like this. I think that would have been great. That would have gotten some shots into the Panzer IV, but as it is, the Panzer IV is going to use this building as a line of sight blocker and probably get away scot-free. PaoJ doing work there, getting 4 kills on that Panzer IV and a respectable amount of veterancy, given that he was only fighting against infantry in heavy cover. So some really good work from PaoJ there, using the Panzer IV in quite a cunning way. Now let's just check. He's got a few units here that really want to be moving back out. Don't know how long they've been stood here, so he needs to keep an eye on that. Has not gone to escalate to battle phase 3, so that won't be an option. Now the 6-pounder is in position and is taking some shots here. The Panzer IV wants to get out of there now. Yep, down to half health. It only takes 4 shots from the 6-pounder to deal with that one. Of course, as well, the forward air landing field officer. This is quite a pokey unit, so if the British player is going to get himself back in the game, it's going to be on the back of a fight like this. He just needs to get all the right things to happen. Now, the forward air landing field officer can do great damage through the windows of this building into these Panzer Grenadiers, who are a really expensive target. Look at the veterancy just pouring on for the forward air landing field officer, doing fantastic work. They're going to force them back. They're going to get out alive, you have to think. But that was a really good exchange of fire there from the forward air landing field officer, and prioritising capturing back the command points is Hama, so he knows the predicament he's in. He appreciates the fact that victory points are what's going to make him lose, or at least that's the first priority of ways he needs to not lose right now. So sending out squads specifically just to buy time, just to take them. Is this the double LMG-42 squad? Yeah, oh my god, these guys. They're just kind of hosing. No wonder this 3-star squad of Tommies had to fall back. Amazing. Anyway, Panzer IV here, kind of facing the wrong way, going to get repaired very shortly. Royal Engineers grabbing the right-hand command point. For now, the British forces not under the clock, but of course these Grenadiers are going to take this one back, so it won't be long before they find themselves bleeding tickets once again. MG42 in a really good building, actually. Not often I see this building used. It's more often this one. Oh, but there's a light gammon bomb! Ugh, doing savage damage to the MG42 squad, and that has got to be a fallback. Oh, he'll be lucky to survive. What's he going to do? He is going to fall back. And relief infantry has been used. 90 munitions has been spent. Look to see PaoJ push on all fronts now. Here they come. He's using tactical movement, so sprinting in with all his infantry squads across the front right now. He needs to bring in these guys here, actually. I feel like they've been forgotten about in this fight. But anyway, Panzer Grenadiers, 2 squads thereof, with the G43 Jaeger infantry upgrade package. They're going to force back the Tommies. Here comes a 3rd squad of Panzer Grenadiers. Wow, PaoJ is really, really pushing the issue here. And the British forces right now are not equipped to take this kind of an assault. They're going to have to fall back, rearm, regroup. I would love to see a weapon rack upgrade, because Bren guns would be totally the appropriate counter for this. You cannot do this kind of a play into the face of a load of Bren guns. It just won't work. And causing pretty much a mass rout there from the British forces. Now, the Panzer IV is basically repaired, so look to see that join in and take out the Horsey Glider very soon. These Panzer Grenadiers are in danger, though. They've been singled out. They're going to fall back right now. 1 squad of Ostracon has so far been generated. Another 48 seconds worth of relief infantry time. These Grenadiers have finally heeded the call to action, and another tactical movement is soon going to be available. So, wow, yeah, PaoJ really getting stuck in. Veterancy on these Panzer Grenadiers is pretty damn impressive right now. So it's all coming together for the Axis player right now, but you know, anything can change in these games. Like, I cast a game just recently where the British player was put down to single-digit tickets and managed to keep fighting on. So, whoa, another gammon bomb coming out there. Close stuff, but PaoJ on top of it, going to fall back. 2 squads of Ostracon now reaped. from the Relief Light Infantry. The 3-star sniper, 30 kills against British forces to his name, but he's kind of caught out in the open. He's going to get to camo just after taking a shot there. 31 kills against British infantry. Ugh, that is so taxing. Tiger tanks now available to be called in. Nearly got the fuel, definitely have the manpower. How much is it? 230 fuel? He is 10 fuel away, so that is quite well timed by PaoJ, clearly lining up the resources for a Tiger tank to shove the Brits out of the game on time. And you have to think this is just an Axis commander who has the Brits figured out, and they are rare right now. Playing as the Brits against Axis, as Hama decides to GG at this moment, playing as the Brits against Axis forces, I more or less feel invulnerable these days. I mean, the Brits are so good, and if you just survive long enough to leverage your first Cromwell or Firefly, like, I just feel like I can't lose when I play as the Brits. But PaoJ has this fantastic style on the go, where he makes use of the early and early mid-game advantage that Wehrmacht have over Brits, and then solidifies it by using tactical movement, relief light infantry, and even has that Tiger tank just to poke forward. I mean, and that's not a particularly late Tiger tank either. I mean, he's able to do all this and have the Tiger tank more or less on the 13 command point mark, so that would be coming in around about the 20-minute mark. Or shortly thereafter. So yeah, also making use of the Jaeger infantry package. Like, nobody uses that. Like, not these days, not really. It's all about the Panzerschrecks or the LMG-42, depending on what squad you're upgrading. So anyway, it's just really nice to see this from PaoJ. And another, I think another, like, his playstyle seems so similar to the playstyle I saw from the player using this before. Like I say, I'll check after the broadcast, but damn. Really making some fantastic use of the, I can't even know the name, Lightning War Doctrine Commander. So there we go, Wehrmacht players once again. If you're having trouble with the Brits, equip this commander and follow this example, because that is 2 for 2 that I've seen it work on my channel, and it looks damn convincing each time. So anyway, yep, good times there. Thank you very much for watching. Look to see more videos uploaded in the near future. Thank you very much once again, and this is Magpie842 signing out.